In the news this week, MPs and peers expose free speech restrictions at UK universities, a lawyer warns that banning smacking would hand parental rights to the state, and Girl Guide leaders are protesting against new rules on transsexualism. Hello. University students should be free to air opinions on controversial issues such as abortion and transgenderism, MPs and peers have said. A new report by Parliament's Joint Committee on Human Rights said it is unacceptable that certain opinions are being silenced. It found that free speech is often restricted on issues such as transgenderism, pro-life views, sexuality and faith. So-called safe spaces also came in for particular criticism, with parliamentarians pointing out that they cannot cover the whole of the university or university life without impinging on rights to free speech. Christian MP Fiona Bruce, who sits on the JCHR, told the BBC the evidence that free speech is being restricted is very concerning.
Well, our committee found very concerning evidence of free speech being inhibited in a number of ways at universities, as a result, for example, of unclear guidance around the prevent legislation, or surprisingly restrictive guidelines on student unions from the Charity Commission, so that, for example, burdensome procedures are in place for student groups to get consent to hold events, or students with minority views feel inhibited from speaking out for fear of being seen as extremist, the so-called chilling effect.
An MSP has warned that criminalising smacking in Scotland would remove parental rights and hand them to the state. Gordon Lyndhurst, who is also a lawyer, dismantled the arguments for a ban in an article for Scottish Legal News. The proposal is being championed by fellow MSP John Finney, who claims a ban would not criminalise parents. But Mr Lyndhurst pointed out that removing the current legal defence of reasonable chastisement would do just that. There is a long-standing principle that parents, rather than the state, should have primary responsibility for their children, and that intervention by the courts in family matters should be a last resort. His comments were welcomed by the Christian Institute's Deputy Director, Kieran Kelly.
Mr Lyndhurst made it very clear that the change in the law that's being proposed would criminalise parents, so I think a lot of parents are going to be very grateful to have him speak so plainly about that, going to be very grateful for his support. And as there is increasing scrutiny over what is being proposed, we expect an awful lot more MSPs to speak out in favour of parents and against this smacking ban.
New rules allowing boys who claim to be girls to share changing rooms, tents and shower facilities with Girl Guides are being protested against by guide leaders. Last year, Girl Guiding UK said males can use the facilities of the gender that they self-identify as. It also said leaders should not inform parents if their daughter will be sharing facilities with a boy. 20 leaders have written to Girl Guiding's headquarters to challenge the rules, but say their concerns are being ignored. Leader Helen Watts said the emphasis is being placed on the demands of trans activists and not the needs and views of the girls. Parents Lindsay and Richard said unwanted pressure is being placed upon young girls' shoulders. You are putting the onus on a young girl to say whether or not she is uncomfortable sharing with a boy. It could lead to her being labelled transphobic if she says she is unhappy. Well, that's all for this week. For regular updates and information on all of our stories, plus much more, visit our website at christian.org.uk. On behalf of everyone at the Christian Institute, I'd like to wish you a peaceful Easter. Until next time, goodbye.